So I've been thinking a lot these last few days about why so many of you have so much to say when it comes to Will and Jada. You know, I've heard you all say everything from, she emasculates him and it's their fault that people are talking about their stuff because they put all their business out in the streets. Well, let me just offer this to you. What choice did they really have? They are international celebrities. I mean, if the paparazzi isn't hiding out in the bushes outside of Blue Ivy, they're sitting on their damn front lawn. And so when you choose to change your lifestyle and go from a monogamous marriage to an open one, how long do you think it's going to be before the general public actually finds out, right? So being open and honest does not mean open season from you. But I've thought about why so many people have something to say. And here's the thing, most of y'all are just poking fun and having something to say because you're just sad and lonely in your own life, right? Some of y'all getting cheated on by broke people. Some of y'all sitting at home lonely as hell. Y'all aren't living your lives to the fullest. These people are. And you don't have to agree with how they're doing it. But holy crap, stop using them as target practices and excuses for your own frustrations in your life. And I know that's not going to be popular, but if you haven't figured it out yet, I don't really care if you like what I have to say. I'm simply sharing it from a different perspective. Many people find it easy to pass judgment and poke fun at other people and criticize them because you aren't happy with your own life. So I'm going to leave you with this one thought. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's on my wall. It's called The Man in the Mirror by Teddy Roosevelt. And here is what it says. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place will never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Half of y'all, most of y'all ain't even married. Half of you don't know what it is to have to sit down with your spouse and have an honest conversation and say, hey, the traditional marriage isn't working for us. What do we do from here?
Amen.
None of you, half of you all could sit at a round table and be honest and be transparent. And then you want to drag people through the mud because you all don't know how to be mature. Just because you know something doesn't mean you have to say something. And if you aren't doing something, keep your ass in the stands and keep your mouth off the people that are actually in the arena. Peace.
Hey, y'all, listen. Okay, bye. I'm finna go with Dani, y'all. Hold on, here we go. I'm finna go get Dani. I flew her in all the way from Atlanta. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Sims, the Master #1 Personal Development Expert, and I'm probably going to start calling her my co-host. She's here. This is about her 11th time on our show. I'm going to probably call her my co-host. I don't know. I haven't run that by her yet. And let me see if this is in my best interest, is my higher good for her to be my co-host. I get a yes. Good morning, Dani. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. I am fine. In my Billy Crystal's voice, you look marvelous.
Oh, well, thank you. This is the struggle is real, but we won't talk about it. I'll just take the compliment and keep it pushing.
Listen, you've been on TikTok much longer than I have. You have found TikTok. I have found TikTok. I love TikTok.
I know you do. I don't love or not like it. I think so. What I have promised myself to do is that I would start to be on all my platforms. I tend to live in Facebook and not everywhere else like I need to. And so 3 days ago I put up my first TikTok video in like 6 months. I haven't been on there in 6 months.
Right.
But that's my goal, is every morning is get my videos out for the day, and then I can move on. So.
Okay, this is our first quarter check-in, and in the description of the show, everybody, I said the first 3 months of 2022, we've had the mask mandate has been lifted, Russian invasion of Ukraine, the slap that was heard around the internet Sunday night. And then we want to know how you doing with all of this. So first quarter check-in, Danny, kind of give us a rundown. How do you think we're doing first quarter 2022? That was good. That was good.
I was thinking this morning. So when I was working out this morning, I was doing my cardio and I was watching the news.
Okay.
Not watching it because I have music in my ears, but they have the TV screens up, so I saw different screens. And the irony of having news bulletins talking about like war and refugees in the Ukraine and all of that, and then January 6th and 8 hours of call logs missing for President Trump on January 6th, and then the next segment is the travesty that is Will Smith. And I was like,
wow,
what does it say about us that Will Smith refusing to leave the Oscars after he slapped Chris Rock is equal to 4 million Ukrainian refugees and insurrection and an attack on American democracy? What does that say about us?
Wow.
That's our focus. It speaks volumes. So when you ask me how we're doing, to go back to our theme, we are not okay.
We are not okay. I love what you said because I just did a quick TikTok and I really did some clip notes of your post on Monday. Everybody's a therapist, everybody's a life coach, everybody's a counselor, everybody has their 2 cents about what happened. And what I love about, I'm gonna just cut and paste one statement you made. You said, understanding is not an endorsement or a justification of what transpired. I love that because you and I as coaches, we have our shovel in our hand, our tools to help uncover why a person is where they are.
We have to be, so here's the thing, with not just even as coaches, yes, as coaches, therapists, psychologists, people in that arena, when you are focused on, when you want to create a space of growth and healing and connection, right? You are empathy, respect, consideration, context, understanding. Those are your friends.
That's right.
And what I know is that we do not heal and grow from shame. And right now, people are busy shaming the hell out of Will Smith.
Exactly.
And to me, my thing is, what do we hope to gain from all the shame? Shame is not fertile ground, right? You don't plant good seeds in shame. It's just not good soil. And so, we do have to. And I put up this status today. I said. Right here, I said, may my personal choice and beliefs never hinder my ability to see the perspectives of others and to desire understanding, compassion, and empathy, even if, especially if, we don't agree. I mean, maybe one day I'll need the same thing in return.
Exactly.
And I think we have forgotten to live by the golden rule. I think we have forgotten to treat others the way that we would want to be treated.
That's exactly right. And you and I have talked offline, and both of us have said, haven't you had a lapse in judgment? We were saying in pre-show today, when you're in that moment, you don't have time to process, well, shall I just go up to the mic and talk to Chris and say, apologize to Jada? He got enraged, he got enraged and acted.
So I don't think that it's even that he took the time to get enraged. I think that, and so understand, anything that we say about what we think happened is simply based on speculation from interviews and conversations that we've seen on the internet or on TV. And so putting that in perspective, I am sure that people can make assumptions and guesses about why I do the things that I do based on things they've seen and heard online. But I can promise you that there are many people who see me on the internet who have not a damn clue who I am.
Exactly.
Or how I process or what else. Because although I share a lot, there are many things that I don't. So here's what I would say. I won't speculate on why Will did what he did. What I will say is that when human beings, and we have all experienced trauma,
That's right.
and when something happens and we get triggered, and either we are or someone that we love is somehow in danger, you know, there is a trauma trigger that happens, that can happen, and in that moment you are not thinking about, you're not processing,
Right.
you're not taking into consideration, you're not thinking about consequences, you're not,
That's right.
you just go into a space
That's right.
where you don't think and you just simply act and react, and it's not always our best, right? But it's our best in that moment. See, here's what's funny is people are passing judgment from this space of, oh, well, he could have done this and he could have done that. Well, hell, we could have always done something different. And hindsight is 2020, and it's really easy
Yeah.
to like call the play from the stands, right?
Yeah, sideline quarterbacks.
On the court. Yeah, when you are not on the court, you can see things a little bit different. But you know, that's the thing that gets me about people saying, well, he could have done this and he could have done that and he could have, well, you know, he coulda, shoulda, woulda, and all of that doesn't benefit us. The reality is when we start talking about the what ifs,
Right.
it's a distraction and a deflection from what is. We're not talking about what could have. We have to deal with what did in fact happen and what are the lessons in it.
That's
what
good.
What can we learn from what transpired?
That's good. So what? Okay.
Jada.
So what's one takeaway? What's one takeaway you take away from Sunday evening? What's a lesson? What's the lessons learned?
Yeah. So one of the lessons for me is because I can relate a little bit to Will because he tries to live as transparent, I think, as possible.
Yeah.
He shares a lot of his struggles, and I do the same thing. So
Yeah.
for me personally, a lesson was, and it was a reminder to remember how fickle the fans can be. Fans are fickle, and it reminds me to not take anything personal.
That's right.
It reminds me of the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, that people's opinions do not make the substance of who you are. A lesson for me is to make sure that I am doing my work daily.
That's right.
Because what in my opinion, what we saw there was a buildup of events. You don't get to that place easily or lightly, right?
That's right.
So it reminds me to do my work and to make sure that I am being authentic with myself about what is working for me
And what's
what
not.
isn't working for me.
Yeah.
Where I need a break, where I don't need a break, right? Yeah.
That's good. And good morning, Mindy. Mindy says good morning. Good morning, Miss Vanessa. Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Sims, America's #1 personal development expert, and this is my lovely co-host today, the Dani Cook. We met on Periscope a long time ago. One of my takeaways from this weekend is words matter, and you touched on this in your live or your post on Monday. Comedians don't have the right or the latitude to hurt. Their comedy shouldn't be hurtful. And my takeaway is words matter. And as Chris Rock, everybody pointing out, well, he's such a professional. He's a comedian. They tell jokes. We're getting to the place in society we can't take a joke. No. He got personal. And words matter. And as a professional comedian, he should have not said that joke. And everybody say, well, the Oscars wrote for him. They wrote the joke. They didn't do the homework. But as a professional, he should have seen that and just said, hey, Jada, how you doing? I know you're proud of Will, and left it at that. He did not have to go there, so words matter.
So for me, this is where the fact that we're talking about Black people also comes into play, okay? Because, okay, so whether the Oscars wrote the joke or Chris wrote the joke, I don't know.
Okay.
Right? Here's what I would say. If, regardless, Chris saw the joke, and as a Black man who has done a documentary about Black hair, who has Black daughters, who all of that, he should have, I won't say he should have, in my opinion, it is one of those things where you just don't touch on, you don't do that. You do not touch on Black women's hair. There is there is such pressure in society for Black women to meet a European beauty standard. And the only time our beauty standard is acceptable is when a white woman makes it so, or a non-African American woman makes it so. Everybody wants a booty because of Kim Kardashian, but Black women had booties long before Kim Kardashian.
Way for them.
Everybody wants lip filler because of Kim Kardashian, but listen, Black women have had beautiful full lips for centuries upon centuries. And so, it's one of those things where Black isn't beautiful until a non-Black person says it is and lives like it is. And so I think that it's really important to understand that people have said, well, don't make it about race. It's not about race. It is about the culture. Let me just go ahead and steal Denzel's line. So Denzel was being interviewed about this movie, and it was him and his co-stars, right, the cast, and they asked Denzel, why did it have to be a Black director? And and the person said, why does it have to be about color? And Denzel said, it's not about the color, it's about the culture. And he said, every single one of us sitting up here, we know the smell of a hot comb on the stove on Sunday morning.
That's right.
It is about the culture and the color. It's not just the color. And so what that joke is about the culture of Black people.
That's good. That's good.
The pain that Black women have experienced because of European beauty ideals and standards. So that is what makes it. It's not just about a damn joke. It is about the culture. And along with that culture is Black men not always protecting Black women.
Right.
And so that comes into play. So there's many different layers to this onion. And when we peel it all back, there's lots of different talking points from their relationship to Chris Rock, to the culture, to like the things that Chris has said in the past, to the things that were said at the awards show for the last 3 weeks about them. Everyone, instead of talking about Will and his acting ability and this pinnacle of a moment that they've had, every single damn person that's addressed them has talked about their entanglement. Listen, that's one part of who they are. If y'all, here's what I want to say to you. If you had just achieved the pinnacle of your career, and every time you met the press or every time you were supposed to be honored, somebody kept bringing up the worst moment of your life, I promise you it would have an effect.
And that's a good segue, because we touched on this on my TikTok live last night, and you talked about it in your TikTok this morning. They have an open marriage. What that means is everybody's talking about, well, you didn't have that energy with August and he was smashing your wife. No, that Jada did not cheat on Will. It's not, they didn't cheat. The only reason that was an issue, that August got in his feelings, he caught feelings and made the whole thing public. And that's why Will was looking so intensely during the red table interview, because why did you let him go public with this? That was the look on his face. But open marriage is not for everybody. And you said this morning, some of y'all have gotten cheated on by broke folks.
So here's my thing when it comes to Will and Jada. Okay, so Will has been transparent about this, that they started out having a monogamous marriage.
Right.
And then he said it wasn't working. So what does that tell you? It tells you somebody was stepping somewhere, and Will has said Jada wasn't the only one stepping. He's also said that Jada's upbringing is different than his. She comes from a familial environment where they don't have traditional relationships.
Right.
Like that's the world she comes from. Will doesn't, right? And so in this conversation, they decided to go to an open marriage in order to make their marriage work, right? Now, just because Will has agreed to it doesn't mean it always feels good.
That's it. Thank you.
So listen, if we agree to have an open marriage, it doesn't mean that it's going to feel good for it to be made known publicly, because people are going to say, I'm being emasculated. People are going to say, oh, well, what kind of man are you? People are going to talk. So in that moment, everybody thinks Will's emotions were only about what happened between Jada and August.
Right.
But I said this to someone this morning because they sent me a clip Jada had done an interview talking about her bald head.
Yeah.
And it was literally like the day before the Oscars, and she was like, she talks about how she used to love to wear her hair natural and curly, and
Yeah.
the pressure to have this beauty standard, this European beauty style. And so she talks about, I don't care what people think. I love my bald head.
Right.
And somebody sent that to me saying, well, if she loves it, why does she care what people think? So I said, listen, just because I love me doesn't mean I want to be internationally humiliated about something.
In front of the whole world.
I have learned to love me, but damn it, you ain't got to talk about my thighs or my nose or anything else. Like, you can have several things.
Right.
I mean, I want you to make a mockery of me.
That's so good. That Mindy said people get all caught up in their own feelings about other people's relationships.
Because they ain't got one of their own, or the one they got ain't working. That's why.
It's amazing.
I mean, seriously, that is why. When we are because let me just tell you this. When you are okay with who you are and where you are, you don't feel the need to condemn other people for their choices.
Thank you. Say that again for the people on the back row. Say that again.
When you are okay truly with who you are and where you are, doesn't mean that you don't. It doesn't mean that you don't want something different. But it's knowing that you are at peace where you are until something else comes.
Amen.
And something else isn't better. It's just different, right? And so when you get to that space, you don't have to condemn and judge and drag somebody else through the mud for their choices. You're just like, oh, well, that's what they're choosing.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, would that work for me?
Yeah, and
then you keep on going.
To your point, I did a sample yesterday to get ready for my TikTok live, and a couple that I married 2 years ago, she used to follow us on Periscope, and I asked her, I said, Jay, would you be interested in an open relationship, a polyamorous relationship? She said, well, to your point, Dani, that works for some people. And I mean, you may not be getting what you want from that one person, but another person come into the relationship, thumbs up. I said, well, could you share your husband with another woman? Could you have a sister wife? She said, hell no.
But listen,
come on.
I would guess that if you married her, she's probably a Christian. That's probably her faith.
Yes, that is correct.
So when you do a sample, and that sample though is everybody from the same faith background, you're gonna typically get the same answer.
Yes, too.
About something like this, because they all have the same core beliefs, right? But if I go out here and I talk to people who are agnostic or who are pagan,
good point,
whatever. They may have a different feeling about that. Now, I'm going to share with you something about my feelings about polyamorous relationships.
Okay.
And my reasoning is probably going to surprise some folks.
Okay.
So, polyamorous relationships don't work for me, and the reason they don't work for me is because I have not grown enough as a person to understand that no one else belongs to me, and I do not belong to someone else. We are not property. We, someone's desire to get something from someone else is not an indicator of my worth.
Okay.
And I have not grown
wow.
to the degree that I can be so solid that wouldn't impact me. It would impact me.
Okay.
And so if I were to agree to that, it would be wrong of me, because I would have feelings. I would have whatever, because I just haven't grown for that. I admire people who can be in those relationships, because it says something about you, right? I really challenge myself. We don't own anything in this life. Nothing belongs to me.
That's right. We're just managers. That's all we are.
Right. My body doesn't even belong to me. It's on loan. At some point in time, this shit's going back.
Hey, would you return to sender?
Return to sender.
Well, let me. So do you feel like would you ever grow to that point? Because I did a kind of scan through. I scanned through the Bible yesterday, and there were instances. Abraham had Sarah and Hagar. Jacob had Leah, Rachel, and 2 handmaids. Solomon had 1,000 women in his. Hey, he had 1,000. He did not have to see the same woman for 3 years, but he only loved one woman, and that was the Queen of Sheba. But anyway, I did that statement for Black History Month. But it's interesting, Dani, because a lot of people are in that kind of relationship right now and don't even know it.
Yeah, well, but that's not that relationship. If you don't know it, you're not in a polyamorous relationship. If you don't know that you're in it, you're not in a poly relationship, because the great thing about polyamorous relationships is people are authentically open.
That
They are ethically non-monogamous. So they have conversations and there
yeah.
are understandings. And the great thing about that is, if you get upset about it, then that's for you to deal with, because
We talked about it.
Conversation, you agreed to it.
We brought that out yesterday. Yeah.
To either be okay or leave it.
That's
And
it.
so for me, the reason why, like, I'm still on my journey for me, right? So I have learned to love me, and sometimes it's a little conditional. I find that it lessens a little bit, right?
Okay.
Because for one of the things that I expect a lot of myself, and I know that. And so if I am not reaching whatever I believe I quote unquote should be doing, that's my inner judge.
Okay.
So anytime, you know me, anytime we say the word should, we are in judgment because we are shitting on ourselves, right?
That's
so
right.
When I say, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be this size, I should be working out, that's me in judgment. And that is an indicator of conditional love.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've learned that from you to really limit using that word should, because you are putting yourself in judgment.
Yeah.
So
If I say you should have done this, you should have done that, I'm judging you. I am telling you without telling you that whatever you did wasn't good enough.
wow.
That's what I'm telling you without saying that. When I say you should do, I'm telling you, and if I tell you you should do something, I'm telling you you don't know enough. I don't trust you to know your own divine wisdom to know what you should be doing.
That is so good, because see you and you kind of heard all of the talks, and it's two shoulds that we're hearing. Chris Rock should have hit Will back, and Will Smith should not have hit Chris. How do we even know that? We cannot judge that situation, because there, like you said, there's a lot going on behind the scene between that trilogy, Will, Chris, and Jayla. There's a lot going on right there.
But even if we go back to something, so follow me. We are co-creators of our life.
That's agreed.
So everything that is present in my life, I co-created. Chris Rock co-created that slash. Chris Rock co-created. That shit didn't miraculously appear out of nowhere.
We have been all over the internet, and you're the first person to say that.
Yeah, Chris. So if we believe that we are the creators of our life, and we bring everything to us for our lessons and our blessings and our growth, right?
That's good.
Chris Rock brought that moment into his life. Now, it's up to him what lessons he learns from it. It's up to him. So in my opinion right now, I believe he's making the most of it monetarily.
Exactly.
I believe that's why he's had the lack of talk, because then people talk about, well, he's not saying anything about it. What last night when he's on the stage, he says, I'm still processing it.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
right. So for me, Chris has the opportunity to be
that's
able
good.
to reach out across the line. He has the opportunity to be able to say to people, listen, I'm not going to make Will right or wrong. Do I think, that was the best reaction? No.
Right.
But he has the ability, if he wanted to, he has the ability to make this a little easier for Will and Jada.
That's very true. That's very true. Now we've seen.
So do a lot of other black people.
Yeah, we saw.
Crucifying Will and Jada.
Come on.
Have the ability right now to speak up and say something.
That's right. And we saw Will. I mean, Monday morning, first thing, Will did post an apology. Haven't really heard. They say. That's right.
He has not.
He has not apologized to Jada.
Okay, like everybody's passing around Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's stuff, right? Listen, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar threw hands on the basketball court. And
sure
his
did.
son was locked up for stabbing somebody.
Sure did.
So before you open your mouth to criticize Will, worry about yourself. Worry about your family.
Thank you.
Your son.
Thank you. And I heard Magic Johnson, and just from listening to you, your perspective, and what I said Monday, and when I heard Magic Johnson talking about it, and again he dogging Will out, talking about Will should not have done that. I said, Magic, come on, man, really, come on now. We all can point fingers and be on the bandwagon of telling people what they should and should not do, and like you say, turn that mirror around and look at yourself.
If you see them fighting on the football field, on the basketball court, just because somebody talks smack to them on the court, they don't even talk about your wife or your mama, and they fight. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. I listen to Shannon Sharp.
I do. I love Shannon.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
that's how I feel about him on this one. That's how I feel about him on this one.
Me too.
Because he's making this big deal about the fact that it was a slap and not a punch, and that historically that's the epitome of disrespect in the black community. And here's what I have to say about that. Shannon Sharp talking about, well, if it was me.
Oh yeah, if it was me.
You don't have no damn Oscar. You're on ESPN. Shut up. That's number one. Number two, when he says, that's the ultimate place of disrespect. Let me just say this, folks. Any response that talks about, well, you disrespected me, that's coming from your ego.
Amen. Say it loud.
Coming from your ego. And, you just got to own that. Sit with yourself. You know what I mean? Sit with yourself for a minute, because that's where that reaction comes from.
That is so good. That is so good.
If I look at the whole situation, do I think that was the best way that it could have all went down?
Right.
Of course not.
Of course not.
That. Nobody needs to say the obvious, but everybody keeps saying it though.
That's right.
So I think the thing is the only thing that we can say is I look at the situation from a place, when I look at those three parties, I look at where can I have empathy, right? And so when I look at that situation of what happened, do I have empathy for Chris Rock for telling the joke? I really don't, because I think that, hurt and mockery of people is not comedy.
It's not.
I listened to, there's a little Hispanic comedian, I think her name is Angela Jones.
Yep.
And she is hilarious.
I like her.
She is hilarious, right? But what I don't see her doing is tearing people down and mocking people, right? It's just there is some laughter in the fact that we have stereotypes, right? So you can point out the fact that we have stereotypes and make it funny that we have them,
right?
Without going a step too far. Okay,
that's exactly right.
When you cross that line, you know it because it feels different. So
and Chris felt it. Chris felt it. Chris felt it.
Yeah, because let me tell you how I know he knows. Because this is what he said. He said it was not that bad.
He said it.
You knew it was bad. Because if he thought it wasn't bad, he would have been like, that wasn't bad. You know what I mean? He would have said that wasn't bad. But he said, oh, it wasn't that bad. That means you knew it was bad.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Right? So, in that moment, you chose to have your Oscar laugh. And in exchange, you got slapped, right? With everything, let's go back to Newton's law. For everything, there is an opposite and equal reaction.
And I'm an engineer by vocation. I've taken a lot of math and physics. You're absolutely right. Good morning again, everybody. This is Dani Cook. For y'all that don't know who she is, she's a life coach. She is she's an artist. She is an entrepreneur. She's got some other good news. I don't know if she wants to bring it up today or not. She's got some more good news. I saw the banner on your Facebook page. Y'all go look at her Facebook page. That picture, Dani, that's your color. That whole ensemble, that's you all day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, so I went to the studio yesterday.
Okay.
And got a check and got a chance to take a look. They were actually building the walls for the set. I got to see an actual computer design of what the set for the talk show is going to look like. They were asking me what colors I wanted, what kind of whatever.
Wow.
They were telling me about how the audience seating was going to be and all of that. And so, so that's kind of where we are on that. So, I have that. I do the online broadcast every Tuesday and Thursday, and I think that's going to shift starting next week and probably be every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe.
Okay.
I might add another day. I just gotta see.
Yes, we so proud of you. Y'all take a look at her. Do a screenshot because she's about to blow up. Okay? She's about to blow up. Y'all take a screenshot. We won't remember her when she's here. She's about to blow up. What is your talk show going to be about, real quick?
Ooh, lots of different things. So if you watch my regular online broadcast, I tend to talk about the real issues that are impacting us. And I have 4 A's that I focus on. So one is accountability.
Okay.
So accountability talks about systems, politicians, people, corporations, places that are causing harm to people that need to be held accountable, right? So accountability. The second is always come and play advocacy. You will oftentimes be advocating for certain issues or certain people, marginalized groups of individuals. The third A is authenticity, because I believe without authenticity, we're just faking the funk and nothing matters anyway.
Right.
And then the fourth is action, because the idea is I don't want to just have a talk show where we debate, and like what you see right now is everybody saying who's right or wrong, who should or shouldn't have. None of that is fruitful.
That's
right.
Thank you.
So what I want to be able to do is have these conversations, shift some perspectives, make people kind of try that on for a second and go, I haven't thought about it from that perspective.
That's good.
And then from the cases where we have to talk about accountability and advocacy work, I want people to leave an episode ready to take action. Sometimes that will be calling your congressmen and your senators, and sometimes that will be writing letters to the editor, and sometimes that will be volunteering in your community, and sometimes that will be getting some damn coaching in your life so you can fix some stuff.
Thank you.
But the idea is that at the end of every episode, I want you to want to do something.
That's good.
We all get to grow and be the best versions of ourselves that we can.
So real quickly, give a tool. What can, after this first quarter, 2022, and all that we see going on, what's one nugget you can leave with everybody? And Mindy said she agreed with us because Chris Rock said, oh, come on, that was a nice one. He realized what he had done. So what's a nugget you can give us today to help us for second quarter 2022?
Yeah, so it's actually a perfect time. So for those of you, I'm a very earthy kind of girl. I believe that things were divinely created for a reason, right?
Right.
And the way that the same way that nature has cycles, right? So, we have the seasons for a reason. And in winter, we withdraw. Think about the trees. The trees go, oh, no. The weather's changing. I don't have enough energy to keep pushing these leaves and blooms out, right? So the tree lets go of those leaves and keeps all of its energy to make sure that its roots stay strong and healthy, and so that when it becomes springtime, which is what we're just now entering, the tree can bloom, right? And so tomorrow, just like the oceans have tides, right? And there's a reason for how the moon cycles go. We are impacted by the moon the same way the ocean is. We are 70% water.
That's right.
Right? So tomorrow is, I don't know if you know this or not, but tomorrow is the new moon. And so as we enter the new moon, the second quarter, right?
That's
and
good.
Spring. These are all 3 times where it's time to give birth to our new blossoms and our new things. And so this is what you want to do. You want to take a look at the leaves that you were growing last season.
Oh, right? That's good. That's good.
Make sure that you let grow.
That's good.
Well, let go of what doesn't grow. Let go of what's dead. Don't be picking up the dead leaves and trying to put them back. Nope, it's time to grow new things.
That's good.
And so as we reflect over this first quarter, what's working? If you have things in your life that are working, then continue to do them.
That's right. That's good.
On them. Be
That's good.
Intentional in them, right? So it's not just about saying, oh, I'm being intentional. It's taking the energy of intention and focusing on the power of being intentional. And then the second thing is taking a look at the things that haven't worked this first quarter. So if you got a gym membership and your ass ain't been but twice in 3 months, you need to figure out a new way to get in shape. You need to figure out a new way to get healthy because what you're doing isn't working. Right?
That's good.
I'm just saying, it's time to assess those resolutions and see, did you resolve to do start to do them, it's not give up and don't do them at all. But just say, okay, so the gym wasn't for me. Maybe this quarter I sign up for a yoga package. Maybe this quarter I sign up for a dance class. Maybe this quarter I sign up for self-defense, right?
That's
so
good. That's good.
Over this first quarter, leaving the dead leaves on the ground, focus on your blossoms, right? And make sure that you're doing it the way that you need to, you know?
That is so good, Dani.
It's working. So that's my nugget for going into the second quarter.
Boom. New moon. The tide is rising. Them dead leaves are blown away. New leaves are coming. I like that. I like that. So how can people keep up with you and follow you?
So every social media platform, with the exception of Twitter, I am the Dani Cook.
Okay.
So if you're on TikTok, IG, Facebook, YouTube, it's the Dani Cook. On Twitter, it is real Dani Cook, because somebody stole my ish. It's cool though. The website is thisisdani.com. If you are someone who follows me because of coaching and work like that, and you want to get my coaching deck for daily guidance and motivation, you can do that on my Etsy store, which is Intrinsic Connections. So you can follow me there, and I think
that's good. I got mine. Yeah. All right. Well, listen.
Yeah, I do my card.
Thank you. Pull a card for us, real quick. Pull a card for us.
Card for you. Okay. So this is the way that this works, guys. I am not Miss Cleo. There's no magic in this. This is not I'm not giving you any psychic information. All this is I believe, this is my core belief, I believe that all of us have divine wisdom in us. So whether you call that God, Spirit, Holy Spirit, intuition, your gut, your sixth sense, I do not give the name. I don't care what name you give it.
Right.
But we all have it. The thing is that we get disconnected from it. And so we start looking at other people and saying, okay, what should I do?
Right.
And so this is a great way to tap in. I have mixed a little bit of intuition with some coaching guidance. And so I ask every day, so what do I need to know for today?
Amen. Here we go.
I let either a card pop out, or I'll get a little nudge in my gut to stop shuffling. And the cool thing is, it doesn't matter which one happens, because you can't pull a wrong card.
That's right.
And so, card for the day is Find Your Voice.
There you go.
And here's what it says, okay? It says, it's time to be heard. Call out for the things you want in life. Ask so that you may receive. Speak so that you may be heard, okay? So if I go into the deck, here's what it says.
Okay.
Get connected to your truth and your ability to speak it freely. Your voice is the key to limitless possibilities. You have a say in the matter of your life.
Amen.
It is up to you to speak into your life and let your voice be heard. So stand up for what you believe in. Trust in your ability to manifest greatness from nothingness. And when you speak and proclaim the desires of your heart, they will be heard. If you want to attract a spouse or a partner into your life, speak it. If you want to attract wealth and abundance into your life, speak it. If you want to create love and joy in your life, have your words reflect it. And here's another key. Do not limit what you can have. So listen, remember that God is almost always dreaming bigger for us than we are for ourselves.
Yes.
So tap on your blessings. Speak your desire. So a lot of times this is what I'll say. I'll say, God, I desire to have this or greater.
Okay.
I desire to have
this
much
or greater
or more, right? I leave that door open, right? Because sometimes, I can say, I desire $5,000. And here goes the universe. And the universe is like, well, damn, I got 20. Okay, she only needs 5. She only wants 5. Well,
hey, this or greater.
I want this or greater. Yeah. Don't be limiting those blessings.
Hey, y'all, that's my co-host, the Dani Cook. This is my co-host. She's so awesome. I tell her all the time. She is amazing. Well, thank you. Everybody say great show. Reggie, Teresa, Mindy, Miss Vanessa, Wilma, Mama, everybody. We appreciate you, Dani, and we'll have you back in a couple of weeks, okay?
I appreciate it too. Thank you, guys. See you later.
All right. I'm going to run to a quick commercial. We'll be right back.
Hey now, if you'd like to donate today to the Dr. Walter Sims Show, please donate at Cash App, $Walter H. Sims. Yes, that's Cash App, $WALTERHSIMS. That's Cash App, $Walter H. Sims.
Well, listen, everybody, I hope y'all had a great show. And remember, it's time for new things in this upcoming season, second quarter. So first quarter, you were here. Second quarter, you need to be here. And if you need some help figuring things out, if you need a life coach, there was Dani. If you need a life coach, here is me. There are 5 indicators you need a life coach. 1, you feel stuck. Number 2, you need clarity. Number 3, you need to relax. Number 4, you need discipline. And number 5, you need balance. And a therapist can take you here, but a life coach will take you here. We give out lots of homework because the homework will lead you to your answers. We don't tell people what to do. If you have a coach in your life that's telling you what to do, you need a refund, you need to run, and you need another coach. Hello? Coach, we don't tell people what to do. We don't give our opinion. We ask very pointed questions to help you, because you have that inner wisdom, and we're here to help you tap into it. All right. I got hold on. I got someone that's got a testimony real quick. Let me see if I can find it. There it is right there. Hold on. Hey, Liz. Listen to this. Let me see if this one's there. How do you know you need a life coach? There are 5 things I want to enumerate. Number 1, you feel stuck. I'm so unmotivated. I'm uninspired. My get up and go has got up and gone. Number 2, you need clarity. I'm unfulfilled. I need a change. Something needs to change. I am ready for a career change, but do you know why you're here? That's what I help you figure out. Number 3, you need discipline. Coaches give tons of homework. My best clients do the work. I have a client now. We meet on Wednesdays. She does her homework. Time we get off the phone, she's diving into her homework. That's my ideal client right there.
That's me. I am Dr. Sims's coachee who does her homework. He's right. I do get started as soon as we hang up. I mean, like, that's my time. I've carved it out. I'm thinking, I'm processing. Everything is fresh, and I get right to it. And I know that time is going to get away from me during the week, and something will creep up, and I will give it more focus and attention. And right now, I want to focus on me. And even though I consider myself to be a person who has it more or less together, more or less, I know that I reach stages when I need a little motivation, I need encouragement, I need perspective, and I need accountability. And that's the value of a coach. And this is a neutral person, and that is also valuable. As a leader, there are very few people that we get to really be vulnerable and authentic with, and your coach is one of those persons that you get to be vulnerable with. Like me, you don't just have this sitting around in your budget. Maybe you do, but I didn't. So what I did was I had to shift some expenses and do some things for myself. Did my own nails, brought my own lunch. I didn't go on a road trip. Making it work, because investing into ourselves is so much more powerful than spending money on ourselves. I encourage you to check out Dr. Sims and look at his full video on the 5 reasons that a coach is valuable, and connect with him. You'll be blessed. Peace. Live your best life.
Hey now, if you'd like to donate today to the Dr. Walter Sims Show, please donate at Cash App, $Walter H. Sims. Yes, that's Cash App, $WALTERHSIMS. That's Cash App, $Walter H. Sims.